Making healthy eating into a lifelong habit. Everything you learn about nutrition and making healthy food choices won't help if you can't make it a consistent, lifelong habit. Washing your teeth and making your bed are probably habits you already have, but waking up earlier, reading every day, and making better diet choices appear to be impossible to develop. Forming a new habit may appear difficult, but the good news is that there are certain principles that can assist us in forming any habit we desire. Dieting versus a healthy diet. Most people associate the term diet with short-term nutritional changes necessary to achieve a specific goal, such as weight loss or improving a medical condition. Although the term diet refers to much more than that, it has become overly associated with diet fads and supposed quick fixes. Going on a well-planned diet and being persistent will help you lose weight, but changing your eating habits will help you keep the weight off. Healthy eating habits are essential for living a healthy life. The principles of habit formation. Before we continue any further, it's imperative you understand some key principles when it comes to forming habits. 1. Habits take time to form. You're probably familiar with the 21-day rule, which states that it takes 21 days of consistent behavior to create a habit. That isn't actually true, as studies have consistently shown that the time for habit formation varies greatly depending on the person and the habit they are attempting to form, ranging from a few weeks to a year. Developing a new and healthy habit is never easy, but it is always worthwhile. 2. Habits do not depend on goals. Although we tend to form new habits in order to achieve a specific goal, the habit can persist even after the goal has been met. For example, you may decide to jog every day to lose weight, but after you achieve your goal weight, you continue to jog daily out of habit. 3. You need repetition to form habits. Doing something for a short period of time does not help it form into a habit. It is dependent on the number of repetitions. You can practice the piano for 10 years, but you won't get much better if you only do it once every 3 months. 4. Rewards and reinforcers strengthen habits. You must allow yourself to feel good after completing a task. Because you rewarded yourself, you will be motivated to repeat the activity in the future. Remember that rewarding completed activities is more effective when done only occasionally, rather than every time you complete them. 5. Habits are context dependent. Internal or external cues can both trigger habits. Hunger, stress, and fatigue are examples of internal context cues, whereas external context cues include the time of day, the presence of certain people, behavior, and so on. This means we can give our brain context cues to help it form habits more easily. More on this in the next section of the chapter. 4 laws of habits. According to an influential book by James Clear, there are 4 specific points of every habit that we can influence to make forming a new habit easier. 1. Cue. Make the new habit obvious. One of the ways we can make a new habit cue more obvious is by priming our environment to remind us of the habit we want to form. For instance, if you want to be more consistent with your calorie tracking, leave the kitchen scale on the counter. You can also make a habit scorecard to help keep track of new habits you're attempting to develop. 2. Craving. Make the new habit attractive. Craving implies that we are anticipating and liking something pleasurable. Although both sensations trigger the release of dopamine, the sensation of anticipating something outweighs the pleasure of receiving that thing. This can be used to our advantage when forming habits. If you enjoy playing video games or drinking wine, but despise meal preparation, make video games or wine a reward after you finish your meal preparation. Over time, you'll begin to associate meal preparation with playing video games, rewiring your brain to enjoy the activity. You can make the actions required to form a habit more appealing by changing your perspective on them. For example, you can shift your mental state from "I have to eat in order to eat healthier" to "I have the opportunity to eat healthier." A lot of people don't have that luxury. 3. Make the new habit super easy. Making the new habits as simple and accessible as possible is the key to actually doing them. This is not to say that you should do easy things, but rather that you should make your target tasks easier to begin with. When it comes to habit formation, remember that volume is better than perfection. So if you don't feel like completing the task you need to do today, just do a small portion of it. That way you won't completely skip it. You should also try to avoid any friction when doing something. For example, if you want to eat healthier, don't keep junk food or snacks around the house, and keep healthy food easily accessible. 4. Reward. Make the habit satisfying. If the end result of an action is unpleasant, you are unlikely to stick with it for long. Humans crave immediate gratification, which you can exploit. Tracking habits is one way to make developing new habits more enjoyable. Every time you complete a task on your list, you'll get a small dopamine rush. It will also provide visual stimulation by displaying how far you've come. You could also put $1 in a jar every time you meal prep, for example, and use the money at the end of the month for a cheat meal. Reverse it. To break bad habits, simply reverse the laws. Make it unattractive, difficult, and unpleasant. Practical advice. Now, you have all the theoretical knowledge to figure out a way of your own that will help you make healthy eating a lifelong habit. Nonetheless, we'll provide you with some practical advice you can start using right away on your diet habit formation journey. Use smaller plates, or fill your big plate with lots of veggies. Both aid in preventing calorie overeating. Don't buy processed foods. You can't go wrong with raw, whole, real food. That is why you should avoid processed foods whenever possible. Drink a lot of water. We frequently confuse thirst with hunger, so avoid becoming thirsty. Don't worry about being imperfect. Aim for perfection 80% of the time or more, but allow yourself to breathe.